Your kid is standing right in front of you, chocolate all over their face, chocolate on the couch, chocolate on the dog, and they look you dead in the eyes and say, "I didn't do this." And your first instinct is, okay, we need to talk about honesty. But before you do that, I need you to hear something that's going to completely change how you see that moment. Because here's what researchers at Harvard, McGill University, and the University of Toronto have spent decades figuring out. The age your child starts lying, the frequency they lie, the creativity of those lies, all of it, every single bit, is directly connected to how their brain is developing. And one specific type of liar, which I'll tell you about at the end of this video, actually predicts something remarkable about who your child will become. So, let's talk about why your toddler lies, and why, honestly, you should kind of be proud of them. Here's something most parents don't realize. Lying is hard. Not morally, I mean neurologically, like genuinely cognitively demanding. To tell a successful lie, your brain has to do several things simultaneously. First, you have to know the truth. Second, you have to understand that other people don't know what you know. Third, you have to construct an alternative version of reality. And fourth, you have to deliver that version convincingly while tracking whether the other person believes you. That is a lot. That's working memory, impulse control, perspective taking, and social reading, all firing at the same time. And here's the thing about toddlers. They're not supposed to be able to do most of that yet. So when your 2-year-old looks at the clearly empty cookie jar and says, "I didn't take any cookies," they just did something their brain technically wasn't built to do yet, which means only one thing. Their brain is ahead of schedule. Now, let's get into the actual science, because this is where it gets really interesting. There's a concept in developmental psychology called theory of mind. It's a big term, but the idea is simple. Theory of mind is the ability to understand that other people have thoughts, beliefs, and knowledge that are different from your own. Think about that for a second. Babies don't have this. A 6-month-old genuinely believes that whatever they see, you see. Whatever they know, you know. Their mind and your mind are, to them, basically the same thing. It's actually why peekaboo works. When you cover your face, a young baby genuinely thinks you've disappeared. Because if they can't see you, in their world, you're gone. But somewhere between ages 2 and 4, something shifts. The child begins to realize, wait, Mom doesn't know what I know. Dad can't see what I see. Their mind is separate from mine. And the moment that realization clicks, that's the moment the lying starts. Dr. Kang at the University of Toronto, one of the world's leading researchers on children and deception, found that children who develop theory of mind earlier are also the ones who begin lying earlier, not because they're more dishonest, but because they're more cognitively advanced. The lie is the symptom of a developing mind. So let's talk numbers for a second, because when Dr. Lee and his team ran studies on over 1,000 children across multiple countries, what they found was eye-opening. At age 2, about 30% of toddlers will tell their first deliberate lie. By age 3, that number jumps to nearly 50%. By age 4, it's over 80%. 80% of 4-year-olds are lying regularly. Now, the instinct here is to panic, but stay with me, because here's the thing the numbers also showed. Children who were rated by their teachers as having higher social intelligence, higher empathy, better conflict resolution skills, were also the more frequent liars at age 3 and 4. Not the less frequent ones, the more frequent, because lying at its core requires you to model another person's mind, to think about what they believe, what they expect, what they'll accept. That is empathy. That is perspective taking. That is fundamentally social intelligence. Now, and this is important, not all toddler lies are the same. There are basically 3 types you'll see, and they mean very different things. Type 1, the denial lie. I didn't do it. That wasn't me. The dog ate it. This is the most common. It's impulsive, it's transparent, and it usually comes with physical evidence literally on their face. This is normal. This is healthy. This is exactly what you'd expect. Type 2, the fantasy lie. I have a pet dragon at home. My teacher said I'm the smartest kid ever. We went to Disney World last week. You didn't. This one might actually be the most exciting because this isn't deception, this is imagination. Researchers actually call this paracosmic thinking. The child is building entire narrative worlds in their head and projecting them outward. This type of lying in toddlers is one of the strongest early indicators of creative intelligence. So if your kid is spinning elaborate, detailed, completely made-up stories about their imaginary life, lean in, ask questions. That's a brain that's building something. Type 3, the social lie. I like your haircut, Grandma. That was delicious. It wasn't. I'm not tired. They're exhausted. Because this requires your child to not only model another person's emotional state, but to actively prioritize their feelings over their own honesty. That's emotional regulation. That's social grace. That's the foundation of kindness. Now, I told you at the beginning there's one type of liar you actually should be concerned about, and it's not the elaborate storyteller, it's not the kid who denies eating the cookies, it's the child who stops lying altogether. I know that sounds backwards. Stay with me. Research from the University of Michigan found that children who show almost no deceptive behavior by age 4, combined with a tendency to withdraw socially and avoid eye contact, can sometimes be showing early signs of difficulty with social cognition. Because remember, lying requires you to model another mind. If a child has no interest in modeling other minds, no impulse to construct social scenarios, no drive to manage how others perceive them, that absence, not the lying, is what's worth paying attention to. Now, this is not a diagnostic tool. Please don't take this and run to worst-case scenarios. Most quiet kids are just quiet kids. But the point stands. The lying, the storytelling, the testing of social boundaries, all of that is your child reaching outward, experimenting with the social world, learning how minds work. Don't shut it down. Redirect it. So, practically, what do you actually do when your toddler lies? 3 things. They're simple, and they're backed by the research. 1. Don't make it a big deal. Overreacting to a lie teaches your child that lying is high stakes and powerful. Instead, stay calm, name what happened, and move on. I think the cookies did disappear, and I think you know where they went. Let's talk about that. 2. Celebrate the truth, not just punish the lie. Children lie more when they're afraid of the consequence of the truth. When they tell the truth, especially when it's hard, make that moment matter. I really appreciate that you told me what actually happened. That took courage. 3. Play lying games. I'm serious. Games like 2 truths and a lie, storytelling games, and even magic tricks all exercise the exact cognitive muscles that make your child more socially intelligent in a safe, boundaried context. You're not teaching them to deceive. You're giving that developing neural circuitry a healthy place to grow. So the next time your kid looks you dead in the eyes, chocolate on their face, and says, "I didn't do it," take a breath. And remember, that little liar is building one of the most complex social brains on the planet, and they're doing it one tiny fib at a time. Now I want to hear from you. What's the most creative lie your toddler has ever told you? Drop it in the comments, because I know some of you have some incredible stories.